When Elon Musk's credit card got declined at Rosetta's Italian restaurant, nobody could have guessed the truth. It wasn't a banking error, it wasn't a simple mistake. It was the first move in a dangerous game that would threaten his entire empire. She World's richest man couldn't pay for dinner. Strange, right? But that was just the beginning. What happened next would shock everyone, especially Elon himself, because someone very clever had set a trap, and he had just stepped right into it. The candles flickered on the tables of Rosetta's, casting a warm glow across the small, family-owned Italian restaurant. Despite the simple decor, red-checkered tablecloths, and wine bottles repurposed as candle holders, it was known for having the best pasta in downtown San Francisco. That's why Elon Musk had chosen it tonight, so the battery can really hold 5 times more charge than anything on the market. Elon leaned forward, his eyes bright with interest. The pasta on his plate was half-eaten, forgotten in his excitement across from him. Zara Fontaine nodded. Her dark curly hair was pulled back in a simple ponytail, and she wore a plain blue blazer over a t-shirt. Not the usual outfit for dining with the richest man in the world, but Zara wasn't concerned with fashion. She was an engineer, not socialite. 5 times the charge, half the weight. And it can be produced using existing factory setups, she said, twirling spaghetti around her fork. That's what makes it different from other prototypes. We don't need to build new production lines. Elon tapped his fingers on the table, and the material's abundant. No rare earth metals. The special sauce is in the structure, not exotic materials. Elon smiled. It was the kind of smile that had launched companies, inspired thousands of workers, and changed entire industries. That's exactly what we need. This could revolutionize everything. Cars, home energy storage, even space applications. A nearby diner glanced over. Recognizing the distinctive voice, soon whispers spread around the restaurant. That's Elon Musk. Phones appeared under tables, discreetly taking photos. Miguel Reyes, their waiter for the evening, approached the table. He was young, maybe 25, working his way through graduate school. Is everything tasting good tonight? He asked, trying to sound casual, despite serving one of the most famous people on the planet. It's perfect, Elon replied. Best pasta I've had in years. Reminds me of a place I visited in Italy. Miguel beamed with pride. His family owned Rosetta's. His grandmother had started it 40 years ago. Would you like to see the dessert menu? Zara checked her watch. I should probably get going soon. Early meeting. Tomorrow, of course, Elon said. Just the check, please. Miguel nodded and hurried away, his heart pounding. Wait until he told his grandmother who ate at their restaurant tonight. I appreciate you making time for this dinner, Elon said to Zara. Most people would have gone straight to my competitors. Zara shrugged. Your companies are doing the most to combat climate change. That matters to me more than who offers the biggest check. Well, I think we can offer both purpose and a very nice check. Elon smiled again. I'd like you to come tour our facilities next week. Meet the team. See if we're a good fit. Miguel returned with a small leather folder containing the check. No rush, he said, placing it on the table. Elon reached for the folder without looking at the bill. Inside, he pulled a black credit card from his wallet and handed both to Miguel. The card was sleek, unmarked, except for a chip and his name. I'll be right back, Miguel said, taking the card and check. Zara sipped her water. You know, when your office called, I thought it was a prank at first. Elon Musk wants to have dinner. Yeah. Right, Elon laughed. I get that a lot. Once I called a promising rocket engineer myself, and he hung up on me, thought it was his friends messing with him in the Uri pool back of the restaurant. Miguel ran Elon's card through their payment terminal. The machine made a soft beeping sound and displayed a message card declined. Miguel frowned. That couldn't be right. He tried again, carefully entering the amount. 15,743 tours for pasta, wine, and appetizers. Card declined. Miguel's palms began to sweat. He'd never had a billionaire's card decline before. What was the protocol here? He couldn't just go back and announce it loudly. Taking a deep breath, he returned to the table. Excuse me, Mr. Musk. Miguel spoke quietly, leaning slightly down. I'm very sorry, but your card seems to have been declined. Elon's eyebrows shot up. That's not possible. Try it again. I did, sir. Twice the surrounding tables had gone oddly quiet in the silence. Miguel's words seemed to echo through the restaurant. Elon's face flushed. There must be some mistake. He reached into his wallet and produced another card. Try this one. Miguel nodded and hurried back to the terminal. The second card was declined too. His hands were shaking now when he returned to the table. The atmosphere had changed. People were watching openly. Someone had their phone pointed directly at them, recording. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Musk," Miguel said, his voice barely above a whisper. The second card was also declined. Elon stared at him in disbelief. "That's impossible." He pulled out his phone. "One moment." Zara shifted uncomfortably in her seat. "I can cover it. It's no problem." "No, no," Elon said quickly. "There's just been some mix-up." He dialed a number and put the phone to his ear, turning slightly away from the table. "Janet, it's me. Something strange is happening with my cards. They're being declined." He paused, listening. His expression darkened. "What do you mean? All my accounts are frozen? Who authorized that?" Another pause. "That's ridiculous. There must be some mistake." His voice rose. "What do you mean, all my accounts are frozen?" The restaurant had gone completely silent now. Every diner was watching the scene unfold. Miguel stood awkwardly nearby, unsure what to do. Elon's face had turned from pink to red. "I need you to call the bank president directly. This is absurd." He listened for another moment, then pulled the phone away from his ear and stared at Elliot in shock. Zara reached for her purse. "Please let me take care of this. It's really not a big deal." Elon seemed not to hear her. He was staring at his phone, scrolling through something with increasing agitation. "This isn't just the cards," he muttered. "Everything's locked. All accounts. Even the corporate ones. More phones were out." Now the scene was being recorded from multiple angles. The world's richest man, apparently unable to pay for a simple pasta dinner. Miguel's father, the restaurant manager, approached the table. "Is everything all right here?" Before anyone could answer, Elon's phone rang. He answered immediately. "What the hell is going on?" he demanded. The color drained from his face as he listened. "Tax fraud, that's absurd. I've never..." He stopped listening again. "How can they do that without notifying me?" First, Zara placed $300 bills on the table. "Please," she said to Miguel's father, "take this for our meal. Keep the change." Miguel's father nodded gratefully and took the cash. "Thank you, miss." Elon ended his call and looked around, suddenly aware of the dozens of eyes fixed on him, the phones recording his every move. His face showed something rarely seen on the confident billionaire. "Fear, we need to go," he said to Zara, standing abruptly now, as they made their way toward the door. Whispers followed them. Zara could hear snippets. "His card was declined. Did you get that on video? Maybe he's broke outside." The cool San Francisco air hit them. Elon's Tesla was parked directly in front of the restaurant with his driver waiting. "Take Ms. Fontaine home first," Elon instructed. The driver then he turned to Zara. "I apologize for the scene back there. Something very strange is happening." "It's just a glitch, I'm sure," Zara said, trying to sound reassuring. Elon shook his head. "No, this is something else." His voice dropped low. "Someone just froze every account. I have personal business. Everything they're saying. It's part of a tax fraud investigation." "Tax fraud?" Zara echoed in disbelief. "Exactly, it's nonsense." Elon's eyes met hers, and for a moment Zara saw something that chilled her genuine fear in the eyes of one of the most powerful men on earth. "Someone is trying to destroy me, and I have no idea who or why." As they drove away, neither noticed the black sedan that pulled away from the curb to follow them, nor did they see the videos from Rosetta's restaurant, already spreading across social media, soon to be viewed by millions around the world. The billion-dollar dinner was just beginning. Zara woke to her phone buzzing. Non-stop squinting at the bright screen, she saw 37 missed calls, dozens of text messages, and hundreds of social media notifications. Confused, she opened the first message from her colleague. "OMG, you're famous. Check the news now," switching to a news app. Zara's stomach dropped there. She was sitting across from Elon Musk at Rosetta's. The headline screamed, "Billionaire broke, Elon Musk's credit card declined at dinner." The video had already reached millions of views. Someone had captured the exact moment Miguel returned to tell Elon his card was declined. The camera zoomed in on Elon's shocked face, then panned to Zara's uncomfortable expression. "This can't be happening," she whispered, scrolling through more headlines. "Musk empire crumbling, all accounts, frozen tax fraud investigation targets, world's richest man stocks plummet as Musk companies face uncertainty." Her phone rang again, unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. "Miss Fontaine, this is Priya Sharma, Mr. Musk's assistant. He'd like to speak with you." Before Zara could respond, Elon was on the line. "Zara, I'm sorry to drag you into this mess." His voice sounded strained, exhausted. "What's happening?" she asked. "It's worse than I thought. Every account, every asset, everything's frozen. My company's stocks are in free fall." He lowered his voice. "This isn't random. Someone orchestrated this. But who would I don't know yet. But I need to warn you, reporters will be after you. Now you're part of the story." As if on cue, Zara's doorbell rang. She peeked through the window to see 3 news vans parked outside her apartment building. "They're already here," she said. "Don't talk to them, Elon. We need to meet somewhere private after arranging a meeting spot." Zara hung up and stared at her phone. The video was still playing now, with commentary, analyzing her expressions, speculating about her relationship with Elon, questioning why she paid for dinner outside Rosetta's restaurant. The scene was chaos. News vans lined the street, reporters shoving microphones toward anyone entering or leaving. Miguel tried to slip in through the back entrance for his shift, but a reporter spotted him. Miguel Reyes, you served Elon Musk last night. Did he seem worried? Had he been drinking? Why do you think his cards were declined?" Miguel pushed past them. "No comment, please." Inside Rosetta's was packed, not with regular customers, but with people hoping to sit at the Musk table. Miguel's grandmother, Rosa Cortez, the restaurant's namesake, was overwhelmed. 60 years in this country, she said, shaking her head. "I served food to famous people before, but never such craziness." Miguel's father, Eduardo, was giving his 5th interview of the morning. "Yes, Mr. Musk was a perfect gentleman. No, I cannot discuss our customers. Private matters, yes." The young lady paid cash. Miguel's phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "You saw something important last night. Meet me at Buena Vista Park, 2 p.m. Come alone across town," in his sprawling mansion. Elon paced the floor of his home office. 3 phones lay on his desk, all continuously ringing. Screens on the wall displayed plummeting stock charts for his companies. Priya Sharma, his assistant, entered with more bad news. "The board members are demanding an emergency meeting. The banks want statements. The IRS sent formal notification of the investigation." She paused, and there are reporters at every gate. Elon barely seemed to hear her. "None of this makes sense. Priya, my taxes are complex, but meticulously filed. My team triple checks everything I know," Priya said. "That's why this feels wrong." Elon stopped pacing. "Pull up the records of everyone who's approached us about Zara's battery technology in the last year. The engineer from last night. What does she have to do with this? Maybe nothing. Maybe everything." Elon resumed pacing. "Her technology could revolutionize multiple industries. It's worth billions." Priya began typing on her tablet. "I'll compile the list, but it'll take time. Most systems are locked to us now." The largest screen on the wall switched to breaking news. A somber-faced reporter stood outside the FBI building in Washington, D.C. Sources confirmed that the investigation into Elon Musk's finances began months ago after suspicious transactions were flagged by Treasury Department algorithms. Officials are examining billions in transfers through offshore accounts linked to Musk's companies. "That's a lie," Elon shouted at the screen. "Those accounts don't exist." His personal phone rang, one of the few numbers that had his direct line. The caller ID showed unknown, but Elon answered anyway. "Musk, quite a situation you're in," said a voicemail, calm, slightly accented. "Who is this? Someone who can help for the right price. I don't need cryptic offers from strangers." Elon snapped, "You will." The voice replied, "When you realize how deep this goes." The line went dead in her small apartment. Zara pulled the blinds shut against the reporters outside. Her laptop displayed a news article analyzing the dinner video. Frame by frame, the comments section was full of wild theories. Musk is broke. It was all smoke and mirrors. Government conspiracy to take down the free speech champion alien lizard people, replacing billionaires with clones. Zara closed the laptop, feeling sick. Her phone buzzed with another text. This one from an unknown number. "You were there last night. We need to talk." The message included coordinates and a time: noon. Zara checked the coordinates, a location in Golden Gate Park, quiet, but public safe enough. She stared at the message, weighing her options. Talking to a stranger seemed risky, but sitting in her apartment while reporters camped outside wasn't sustainable either. And something about this whole situation felt wrong. Tax fraud. Elon Musk, the man, was many things, but stupid wasn't one of them. Her scientist's mind couldn't accept the official explanation. There were missing variables in this equation. Zara grabbed her jacket and backpack. She'd go to the meeting spot early, scope it out, and leave at the first sign of trouble as she headed for the fire escape the only. Exit without reporters. Her phone buzzed with breaking news. Musk companies lose $40 billion in market value in single morning. She pocketed her phone. Whatever was happening, it was bigger than a declined credit card. Much bigger. And somehow she was caught in the middle of it as Zara climbed down the fire escape. She didn't notice the black sedan parked across the street, or the man inside watching her through binoculars. The billion-dollar dinner was becoming a trillion-dollar disaster. FBI agent Darius Webb spread the files across his desk, creating a map. Of money flows, his office was small but neat, with just enough room for a desk, a whiteboard, and a single visitor's chair. The whiteboard was covered with names, companies, and connecting lines, all leading to Elon Musk. Webb had been tracking unusual financial movements for months. Large sums moving through obscure channels, complex structures that seemed designed to hide something. But hide what? That was the question that kept him working. Late nights. He picked up a grainy photo of Zara Fontaine leaving Rosetta's restaurant with Musk. Who was she? Why was she dining with one of the richest men in the world the very night his empire began to crumble? The door opened and Agent Lucia Chen walked in, carrying 2 coffee cups. At 36, Chen was 10 years younger than Webb, but they'd been partners for 5 years. She knew exactly how he took his coffee. "Black, 1 sugar, you look like you haven't slept," she said, placing the cup on his desk. "I haven't." Webb confirmed, taking a grateful sip. "Something doesn't add up." Chen nodded toward the photo of Zara. Background check came back on her. Brilliant. Engineer specialized in energy storage, clean record, not even a parking ticket. What's she working on that would interest Musk? Some revolutionary battery technology. Her former professor says it could be game-changing. Webb added this to his mental puzzle. The Treasury Department called this morning. He said Crawford himself. Chen sat up straighter. Crawford was the deputy secretary, not someone who made casual calls to field agents. What did he want to tell me? This goes deeper than we thought. They're giving us additional resources and clearance. Webb leaned back, but something in his voice, I don't know. He seemed nervous about what. That's what I want to know. Across town in a sleek downtown law office, Elon sat at the head of a conference table. Around him sat his legal team led by Maxine Reynolds, a stern woman with steel-gray hair and a reputation for winning impossible cases. "The FBI has seized records from 3 of your companies," Maxine explained, reading from a tablet. "The Treasury Department has frozen all accounts pending investigation. The SEC has halted trading of your stocks to prevent market volatility." She looked up. "This is not a normal tax investigation. This is coordinated by whom?" Elon demanded. "That's the million-dollar question," said Harrison Wu, another attorney on the team. "Or should I say, billion-dollar." No one laughed. "Your accounts aren't just frozen," Maxine continued. "They've been legally seized under an investigation we knew nothing about until yesterday. No warnings, no requests for documentation, no audit notices." "That's not how the IRS works," Elon said. "Exactly." Maxine set down her tablet. "Someone pulled strings to make this happen. Big strings." Elon rubbed his temples. "I've made enemies, competitors, politicians, foreign governments. But this," he gestured to the chaos around him, "this is something else." Meanwhile, Zara arrived at Golden Gate Park 30 minutes early. She found a bench with a clear view of the meeting spot, a small clearing near the Japanese tea garden. Tourists and joggers passed by, providing a sense of safety and numbers. At precisely noon, a man in his 40s with thinning hair and wire-rimmed glasses walked into the clearing. He wore khakis and a button-down shirt, the uniform of office workers. Everywhere he sat on a bench and pretended to read a newspaper, occasionally glancing around. Zara observed him for 5 minutes before approaching. He didn't look dangerous, just nervous. "I got your message," she said, sitting beside him but keeping distance between them. "Thank you for coming," he replied, folding his newspaper. "My name is Oliver Knox. I used to work for Elon. What do you want with me?" Oliver glanced around before answering. "I know why this is happening to him, and you're in danger too." Zara stiffened. "Is that a threat?" "No, a warning." Oliver's hands trembled slightly. "I was an accountant for one of Musk's smaller companies, Tesla Energy Solutions, 3 months ago. I noticed strange transactions." "What kind of transactions?" "Billions moving through accounts in patterns that made no sense. Funds redirected investments, liquidated secretly." He swallowed hard when I reported it to my supervisor. I was fired the next day. No explanation, just escorted out by security. Zara frowned. If you're suggesting Elon is involved in tax fraud, that's just it. He's not. The transactions I found weren't authorized by him. Someone infiltrated the company's financial systems, someone with inside access. Why tell me? Why not go to the FBI? I tried. Oliver's voice dropped to a whisper. The agent I spoke to disappeared. Transferred suddenly, no one would talk to me after that. Zara felt a chill, despite the warm day. That still doesn't explain why you contacted me. Oliver reached into his jacket and removed a folded document as he handed it to Zara. A black SUV screeched to a halt on the nearby road. Men in dark suits jumped out, scanning the park. They found me, Oliver whispered, eyes wide with fear. He grabbed Zara's arm. We need to go now. Across town, agents Webb and Chen sat in a coffee shop. Across from Rosetta's restaurant, Miguel had agreed to meet them during his break, and now sat nervously across from them, twisting a napkin in his hands. I already told reporters everything, Miguel said. We're not reporters, Chen reminded him gently. We just want to understand what you saw. Webb leaned forward, the credit card decline. Was that all? Did you notice anything else unusual? Miguel thought for a moment. Mr. Musk seemed really shocked, not just embarrassed, but surprised, like he was hearing unexpected news. From you? Chen asked. No, from whoever he called. Miguel closed his eyes, trying to remember. He said something about accounts being frozen. Then he asked, who authorized that? Like he couldn't believe it. Webb and Chen exchanged looks. Did he seem worried before the cards were declined? Webb asked during dinner. No, he was excited, talking about some battery technology with the woman. He seemed happy until everything went wrong. After Miguel left, Chen tapped her pen against her coffee cup. The official story is tax evasion. They're saying he's been hiding money for years, but he seemed genuinely surprised. Webb said, people are good actors when caught. True, Webb nodded. But if you were hiding billions and knew you might get caught, would you make a scene in a public restaurant over a $157 dinner bill? Chen smirked. Fair point. Webb's phone buzzed with a text from their supervisor. Return to office immediately. New development. As they drove back, Webb couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something obvious. The pieces didn't fit together. Not yet. Little did he know the document that Oliver Knox had just handed to Zara Fontaine contained the key to everything, a connection that would blow the case wide open if they could live long enough to reveal it. Oliver grabbed Zara's arm and pulled her up from the bench. Run. They dashed into a thick cluster of trees. As the men from the SUV entered the park, Zara clutched the document against her chest, her heart pounding. They weaved through joggers and tourists, keeping tree trunks between them and their pursuers. Who are those guys? Zara gasped. I don't know, but they've been following me for weeks, Oliver panted. Left here, they ducked into a small coffee shop called Busy Beans. The place was packed with people staring at laptops. Oliver led Zara to a table in the back corner, away from windows. I think we lost them, he said, peering cautiously toward the entrance. For now. Zara's hands trembled as she unfolded the document Oliver had given her. Her eyes widened. It was a technical specification, her battery design, but with modifications she'd never seen before. Beside it was a list of names, including hers, and a project title, Lazarus. Where did you get this? She demanded. It was attached to some of those strange transactions I mentioned. Oliver ordered 2 coffees from a passing server, then lowered his voice. Someone is very interested in your battery design. But why contact me? I still don't understand. Oliver pointed to her name on the document. It's not just about Musk. You're involved too. Your battery design isn't just valuable for electric cars. Someone has other plans for it. What plans? I don't know exactly, but Oliver stopped as the server brought their coffees. When she left, he continued. There are transactions I found. They were purchasing very specific materials. Materials needed to mass reduce your batteries. That doesn't make sense. The design isn't even finalized. According to this document, someone thinks it is. Oliver sipped his coffee nervously. Whatever Project Lazarus is, they need your technology to make it work. Meanwhile, agents Webb and Chen arrived back at FBI headquarters. Their supervisor, Assistant Director Marshall, waited in the conference room with 2 other agents Webb didn't recognize. Agents, this is moving fast, Marshall said without preamble, Treasury just sent over new evidence. He slid a folder across the table. These accounts were used to move billions through shell companies linked to Musk's enterprises. Webb opened the folder and studied the bank records. These transactions are odd. How so? Marshall asked. They're too perfect. Webb pointed to the numbers. Real money laundering has patterns, mistakes, corrections. These are too clean, too consistent. Like they were designed to look suspicious. Marshall frowned. Are you suggesting the evidence was fabricated? I'm saying it deserves closer examination. Webb replied carefully. One of the unknown agents, a stern-faced woman in her 50s, spoke up. The Treasury Department has verified these records. Agent Webb, are you questioning their competence? Webb met her gaze. I'm pursuing all possibilities, ma'am. That's my job back at the coffee shop. Zara studied the document more closely. These modifications, they're increasing power output by 300%. But it would make the batteries unstable. Unstable. How Oliver asked they could overheat, maybe explode under pressure. She looked up concerned. No one would use this design for commercial applications. It's too dangerous. Then what would they use it for before Zara could answer? She noticed two men in suits entering the coffee shop. They found us, she whispered. Oliver glanced over his shoulder. Back exit now. They slipped through the kitchen, ignoring the protests of employees, and emerged into an alley behind the coffee shop. Rain had started to fall, light but steady. We need a place to hide, Oliver said, looking up and down the alley. I know someone, Zara decided. My former professor, we can trust him. Across town, Miguel finished his shift at Rosetta's and headed home. The restaurant had been packed all day, people hoping for a glimpse of where the famous incident occurred. As he walked to the bus stop, a woman fell into step beside him. Miguel Reyes, she asked he.